Hello, Brother Sewing and Crafting family. Angela Wolf here, Brother Ambassador. We've got a fabulous show for you. And if you are in the Midwest or probably half the country right now, we are in a massive snowstorm. So it is a great day to hang out and sew. We are live in the chat today. So ask your questions. Tell us where you're from and what are you sewing? So I'm going to give you a little hint here. It's a fabric that we love. It's soft. Laura Pifer's coming in. You might have seen this jacket. I'm going to find the episode to give you a link to watch the previous of what she's wearing, but this is going to be super fun. We need some winter projects. Today's the perfect day for it. So pop and say hi. Laura, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I love that jacket. I remember that episode. I have to look up which number, but before I even look it up, I'm pretty sure all the Brother fans, somebody's going to type in what episode that was, because you made that from scratch on one of our shows.
Yes, this was the blanket. Remember the fleece blanket that we turned into a jacket? I think it was in November, so somewhere back then. But I was, thinking about we're going to be sewing with fleece today. And I remembered this and I was like, I need to wear it. And, remind them that we've got some fun fleece projects on the page. And also we're going to do some fleece projects today. So I thought it went hand in hand.
I love it. I love it. It's so cute. So happy New Year. I haven't seen you since the new year. And now we're going to work on some winter projects where you are probably a little warmer than us. We have a massive snowstorm outside. That's all I got to say.
That's why I made this, because I was like thinking of you. And I'm like, Angela's out there. I know she walks every day outside. You're like me. We're outdoors. I also think about a lot of the people that watch the show. They're outdoors, in all Midwest, wherever you live, it's freezing right now. Even here, it's 20 degrees, which is very cold for us in the South. And I was outside and the wind was blistering, and I was like, I don't want a scarf, but I need something like to cover the neck area. And a neck guard isn't going to do it. The neck guards that you are fishing, those. I need something a little bit more robust that's also going to stay put. And I know we have the theme right here. So I just recycled some of my blanket to make this cool neck warmer. And it's double lined.
Oh my gosh, that is so cute and so practical.
Yep. And it's double lined, and it also has this cord stopper where you just pull it. So you can make it kind of stay right there on your neck or wherever, right here. I like to wear mine kind of right here. And I've made... I actually use this a lot in the winter, but I've made either you can do one layer like I did with this one, one piece of fabric, or you can do like two pieces of fabric where you have like a alternating, outside and then like the pink on the inside. So whichever your preference. Ooh. Yeah.
I like the black and pink. In fact, we were just chatting. We love the Brother fans and the Wolf Pack because a lot of them watch live shows. And Jan, I know you're watching this. So Jan, first thing she said is Jan's going to be out walking her dogs. She needs one of these.
Yes, I know she works outside. I think at the last post I saw, she was like, it was freezing and she's getting ready to go work. And I'm thinking she needs this. It's probably so cold. So I think they'll like it. And also you can use scrap fleece. If you have, it's because it's only 8 inches by 25. And then if you do the one layer, it would be like 17 inches by 25 inches. So folding it. And that's what I did with this one. So yeah, if you guys are ready to get started.
We are ready. I'm going to let you take it away and I will monitor the chat. So we will not be bringing your chat live here. We are live in the chat. So be sure to say hi, say where you're from, ask your questions, and I will make sure that on the calendar page that we always put the live shows, I will find the other episode of Laura with that beautiful jacket and also link to this show so you can't miss it. All right, Laura, take it away.
Okay, so I have I'm going to do one layer just because I have this on hand. But again, if you do 2, that's fine. If you're going to do 2, then you're going to want to cut 8 inches by 25. For one piece, mine was 16 inches by 25. So 25 width right here. Now you also want it to be the stretchy. See how this is the stretchy side, right? Or this way. And then what I'm going to do is if you do 2 layers, you're going to want to sew the first half. See on this fold. See, I don't have to sew it because I've got the fold. Once you've done that, now we're going to add a little buttonhole right here. This is for the cord. So I already did one right here. As you can see, this is the center. I marked the center. So you'll have it folded in half like this. Here, I'll show you. So, we have it folded in half. I went like this, got the center point. And then I did my first buttonhole right here. And you'll want to just leave a little bit at the tip right up here because you're going to need to put the cord there. So then I'll add the other one right here. So it's about maybe 1/2 inch to 1 inch apart. All right, and so we'll sew our buttonhole. And if you want, you can also use like eyelets or anything like that. Like in this one, I did an eyelet right here. I'll show you the 2 little eyelets. So it's just up to you. It's just preference. I like to do this first because then you get it out of the way and then you can just get to sewing. So I have set my machine up. I'm going to pull you forward. So I'm just going to mute this really quick.
All right. While she scooches away, I'll take her out just for a sec so she can get it all set up and you don't get seasick. Oh, hey, Laura, what machine are you on today?
So this is the SE700. So you guys see it good? Okay.
Oh, yeah, we can see it
perfect. Great. Okay. So I have the buttonhole. All right. So what I do is I just kind of, you don't have to put a button there. I just use my thumb length. And then I set it up. A little tip I like to use, if fleece can be get a little bit sticky. If you want, you can use a little piece of tearaway stabilizer underneath. And we're just going to do the buttonhole on the other side. Now I already did the first one like we spoke about. All right, so that's there. I marked it too. All right. Okay, now we're ready. This is set up. Yep, okay. I always pay close attention to these ones.
That machine's so quiet.
Yeah, it really is. All right, so there's my other one. So you got 2 buttonholes. It's a little uneven, mainly just because I'm sewing like this. So we want to move this now, take this off. I'm just going to put my J foot back on because now we're going to do our sewing. All right, so we've got this part done. You can cut those when you're ready. But now I'm just going to remove this. So see, I had the stabilizer back there. It just helps. So if it starts to move, you know how it can get kind of stuck. All right, so now we have our right sides and we're going to fold them together. And we're going to just sew all the way down. You can do a zigzag stitch if you think this is going to be super stretchy. I'm not going to do a zigzag stitch. I'll just do a 3.5, 3.0. And we're going to just do a 1/4 to 1/2 inch seam allowance. So just kind of right on that edge. All right. And so now we're going to sew all the way down, kind of creating like a tube. Got a good bit. Okay, good.
Laura, I was just thinking, I'm watching you sew and I'm thinking, where could I use this? You mentioned fishing, but
yes.
It's been so windy lately when we're fishing and, you really have to protect your face. And the little band that I pull up, it sometimes isn't enough. I'm going to have to make one of these. This is going to be so fun.
And with the little cord, it'll help keep it up too on your face. Because how those kind of drop, those little parts. I actually thought of you too in fishing because I'm like, she fishes in all kinds of weather.
And lately it's been really windy and really rough when I am fishing.
The wind is really when this is necessary. All right, so you have this kind of tube. And now you can see if you had 2 layers, you would have one side, right? And then the other side. Okay, now we're just going to pull right sides out like this. And then if you want, you can press everything kind of down. Okay, and then I've got it like this. Just your tube, okay? And now the fun part is you're going to take the edges, so the seams right here. I might have to let me cut and get this seam. Just getting it even. You know how sometimes the seams don't match. So now we're going to take seam to seam. So here's the seam right here, and here's the seam. And then if you want, you can clip it or pin it. I'm just going to clip right here. And then what we really want to make sure is we sew the side where the buttonholes are. So here they are. So we want to make sure that when we are sewing, we're getting the side, because there's going to be a little opening, and you want that to be on the interior side. So just make sure that whenever you're sewing, you're going that way. And I know it looks kind of tricky. I'll try and explain it. We're basically going to just sew around as much as we can. Like, you see how I did that? Angela, did that kind of make sense?
That does make sense.
Okay. So let's start like right here. And we're going to go this way. And again, I'm just sewing with a straight stitch. If you want, you can do a zigzag stitch, because it's going to be pulled and go over your head, but it's fine either way. I'm going to be a little bit focused here because there's a lot of layers. All right. So I'm just going to sew this around. This is where I would have liked my phone setup, but I was telling Angela, somehow my kids took my long wire headphones. I'm like, you guys don't even like that stuff. You guys are all into your little, AirPods. Like, why are you taking my little wire? Wire? You know what I mean? All right, so I'm just
You're probably going to find them downstairs making like a fort, and they're going to have that hanging as like something in the...
Seriously. I'm like, did one of you think it was a charging cord? All right, so I'm going all the way around as far as I can. You'll kind of know when you have to stop. And if you just start making this, you'll kind of understand how it works. But like I said, it's just match the seams to the seam, and it somehow works out. It's a little bit like sewing a scrunchie, an oversized scrunchie. All right, I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to stop. Let's go a little more. All right. Because it will kind of stop you. See? All right. This is the fun part. You just flip this like that. That's it. See? And then there you go. So that should be your inside right here. And here at this point, you can just do a little blind hand stitch right here to sew that shut. But that's the only little opening you should have. Okay. Now we're going to go over here to our, there we go. All right, now we're going to go over here to our buttonholes. Okay. And you're going to want to, let me open these really quick. I'm going to go grab my seam ripper, 1 sec.
Oh, sounds good. All right, while she's running away, I want to remind you, let's see, it is getting close to the end of the month, and Brother still has their promotion. If you go to your Brother dealer, you can turn in any machine, any sewing machine of any brand, of any value, turn it into a Brother dealer, purchase of the Brother Avenir, and get a $1,200 rebate. Just tell them that you're part of the Wolf Pack, and that is a rebate that you will get from them. So it ends at the end of January, so I want to remind you of that because we're getting pretty close to that. All right, you have your seam ripper?
Yeah, I'm just opening up these buttonholes. I like to kind of start with a seam ripper and then just cut it. How do you do them?
I'm kind of a both. Sometimes I don't use a seam ripper only because I've had a couple disastrous things happen when you try to open it and it goes past the buttonhole. But there are a couple tricks that I have tried, and that's putting a little pin at each end of the buttonhole. And then when I slide, and I actually put it, so if this is your buttonhole, I will put the pin inside the buttonhole, just a hair, so you're not opening right to edges, and then when I slide with the seam ripper, it won't go past the pin.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah,
because you're right. I was
only because I've made some bad mistakes.
I was just thinking that. I was like, I could actually do some like rip right through this if I'm not careful. All right, so now you'll just do your cording. Okay, so we opened up our little buttonholes. You could sew right now, but I like to do the cording inside first. We'll see if I can do it right here. And just kind of wrap it through. Then you don't have to use a seam or a safety pin, but it actually, it might be easier to use a safety pin on this fabric. We'll see. You know what I mean? You could actually pull it through and then sew it, but then you don't have to wait for me to do that. But I'm not going to do that because I think that will be hard for me to explain. So I'm just going to sew now the edges. Okay, so now we've got our little loop, right? You can press this if you want down. Now we're going to sew the top. So you can sew about, whatever your buttonhole length is. So you can sew about it. Mine would be about an inch hem, and then you're going to want to sew the bottom one. So let's get to that. I need to kind of press it, but it's okay. I don't have my iron on. Where is this? Oh, this seam is so good. I matched the plaids perfectly. I couldn't even find it.
That looks great.
Yeah, don't you love that when you do that? I was like trying to find which was the folded side. That's funny. All right, let's do the bottom edge first. Okay. So you can move this if you want. And we're just going to sew around the top. And again, you can use zigzag stitch if you want, even if it's just decorative too. All right, that's the top layer or bottom layer. Now I'm going to do the top. Now this is the folded side, so you kind of just need to just use your, your visual right there. Again, my buttonholes are a little bit off, but that's okay because this is a sample. So we're just sewing top and bottom hem. And this will also be the casing for the cord. Okay, done. So now you got your little tube, and then the fun part is, or maybe not so fun part, is the fun weaving your safety pin through with your cording. Now, like I said, you can actually do this before, but I just didn't because most people are going to do it this way. I guess the main part is just figuring out how to get through the seam, but since there's only one, it's not that bad. So I'm just going through. See this part right here with the seam. Sometimes you're like, hey, it won't go through? But it did. It's good. What are ways you do this, Angela? Do you usually use the safety pin?
I do half the time because I can never find my bodkin. And it's funny because Emily was just on the show and she's like, let me go get my bodkin. And I was thinking right then, I still don't know where my bodkin is.
Right. So. And then look how easy. That was pretty quick though, That
was super quick.
Yeah. And then this is where you'll, here, let me cut this. This is where you'll put your cord stopper through. To do the cord stoppers, you know what I was using? I used this. It's like a loop turn.
Oh,
Because it's
yeah.
kind of difficult. You know what I mean? Mine, I
Wait,
don't.
I have one of those, and I actually know where it is. It's hanging where my thread is in the back because it fits right underneath one of the spools
Yeah.
of thread. It's hanging at the bottom there.
Woo! So you know where that is. So you can use this. And this is how I would put the cord stop. You can usually get one through, but if you have trouble, you just grab it and pull it through with this. The little thing that goes right here. I don't have an extra one, but it was these that I showed you. Those right there.
That's cute.
And you want one of those because it just kind of, but there we go.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
what a fun, easy project.
And then,
oh yeah,
let's get this hair out. And you can.
I won't say that you're totally clashing. I think that one would match my outfit, and your other
right?
one would match.
And then you just do your little cord stop, and then it's so warm, actually.
That's cute.
You can tie it. If you don't have a cord stop, it's fine. Just tie it, like this.
Very fun, easy project. Though I think the cord would be better, that little stopper, because when you wash it would prevent the string from coming out. That looks so good. What an easy, fun project.
Yeah, it's just, and it's warm. It will stay right here. Or if you even want it like right up here. I like the cord stopper too. I think it's safer if you have like kids and you know what I mean? You don't want them just using these cords, but you can also tie the edges at the end to make sure it doesn't ravel or anything. But yeah, that's it. And then
easy,
you're done.
Project. Does anybody have any questions? Because this has been super easy. We were just brainstorming on right before the live show. We're like, what other winter projects could we have? And then I remember the jacket, so I'll put a link to that. But now you have a matching neck piece. But you could make matching mittens.
I know we're gonna do it, but now we could do the ear warmers next.
Oh, yes, that would be perfect.
Yeah, I actually have. It's something kind of like this, but obviously smaller, and you just stick it over. This one's too not working. This is my sample, but yeah, I mean, you can do a lot with fleece. I actually made this one. I was gonna show you this, Angela, but this was a little bit too hard to do live. But we do on the Brothers Stitching Social, we do have this tutorial on there. But I made this cute little quarter zip. And then you got the little pocket. And this was another blanket.
Oh my gosh. Wait,
yeah.
I'm looking at that going, I love the pockets. I'm thinking, did you hand do that? No, it's the edge of the blanket, isn't it?
Yes, the edge of the blanket.
And this is on Brothers Stitching Social. I will make sure I put a link for that as well.
This is the quarter zip tutorial, and I just did a blanket this time. And it's so quick because I don't have to finish the edges. They're already finished.
My gosh.
I mean, I feel like I'm wearing a blanket. It's funny.
Well, I can't think of anything else cozier right now.
No, I know. It's so true. But yeah, we got a lot of projects that you guys can make that are warm. Today, this one was a practical make. I think, of course, Angela, it does match you now that I see that.
I know. Just pass it on over. I'll grab it and put it on.
I wish. That would be fun.
So this is really fun. Laura, I love these because they're easy. And those blankets, when I was shopping before the holidays, they were on sale all over the place. And they had different prints. And I mean, and now I'm kind of watching for the sales. I actually really just wanted a blanket, but now I can cut them up and make some fun things with it.
And you're right. Like, I look at some of those fabrics and they're fleece blankets, and it's actually cheaper than if you bought a yard of fleece, And not like we're always looking for cheaper options, but sometimes it's hard to get to a fabric store. There really isn't options like that. So sometimes you got to be thrifty. And if you see a nice flannel blanket, go for it, or fleece or whatever. Because this one was cute. I mean, a nice little plaid,
I love that.
Yeah. And I like the edging the blanket stitch. I need to learn how to do it by myself, but if they've done it for me.
Actually, I love the blanket stitch on there because I'm thinking, like you said, you don't even have to hem. As long as you plan everything the right direction, it's perfect.
It is so perfect. I know the machines, I'm not this one, but my other one, my SE 2000, that one does have the blanket stitch. I actually did it on the edge of this to mimic that right here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Yes.
Yeah. It's a little tighter, but it's, you know, if you didn't want to sit here and go through and hand stitch that yourself, there you go.
I love it. Another great idea. Laura, you always have the best upcycle projects. And if you all don't follow her on Instagram, she always has some cool projects, great photos. Trash to Couture is where you find her. Is that your website too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Making sure I had it right. It's rolling down below. So you got Brother Sews. That's where you can find the stitching social she was talking about. Trash to Couture, you'll find Laura and all of her fun projects. And I put in Angela Wolf there because that is where I've kept the schedule up. You can go there and see who's coming on and watch some of the fun replays. And if there's anything that needed a link, I popped it in there for you quickly. And this one needs a lot of links, Laura. You're all over the place.
I know. The theme was winter projects. And I was like, wow, that's very, like, I could go all over the place.
I love it. Well, Happy New Year. Thank you for coming on. I can't wait to see what you do next month. I think we should do those headbands. I think we're all voting for that right now.
Yeah, I agree. If you guys want headbands, I make those all the time. So we do have a pattern too on the Stitching Social.
Oh, even better. So leave a comment below. Do you want to have a headband? I want one with a little zipper so I can stick my credit card up there. Because quite often when I'm out and about, I don't want to carry anything with me. I've got my phone in my pocket. Do you ever notice if you put your phone in your leggings side and you have your credit card in the other one? Sometimes I do this all the time. I should know which one's which, but I'll pull the phone out and I drop my credit card. So I want a little zipper here for my card.
That's a great idea. And you know this too, Angela, you could, the little opening that we hadn't stitched up yet, you could maybe make that a zipper pocket and have that right in there.
That's a good idea.
You don't have to worry about, like you said, that's why I like these with the pocket, because that's where the credit card goes.
Smart. All right. Well, let us know what you want Laura to do next month, because I vote headband.
Okay. Sounds good. You do the zipper part.
Okay. That sounds good. Well, it'll be a team project.
Okay. Sounds great.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining. Have a great day. And we will see you next time on Brother Sews. Bye.
Have a good one.